Welcome to the channel, my name is Coach and I'm your go-to source for everything relating to TNA, and tonight we're reviewing this week's episode of TNA Impact. And it was pretty good. It showed some signs of improvement for both the Knockouts and Tag Team division, which is two divisions I've complained a lot about. So let's run through the entire show and see what happened. The show opens with the system all coming to the ring, and I really like the touch of Masha Slamovich coming with them because she's part of the system but not really. She's the Women's Tag Team Champions with Alicia Edwards, meaning she's kind of in this, but she's never with them. Tonight she was, though I think they should put her in the system more prominently. It could be a very big push for her career. The crowd was also really hot for this opening segment, like they were on fire, they kept booing the system, but throughout the show they were honestly very dead. They weren't active for anything, it kind of ruined a lot of the moments for me. But let's get into what they said. Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers said they're coming after their tag team championships and they're enacting their contractually obliged rematch clause. Moose then also got on the mic and he said that if he and JDC win their match tonight in the main event, JDC will officially be part of the system, but if they lose, JDC is out of there. And then on cue, Spitfire came out and they want the Women's Tag Team Championships back. And they said now it's all or nothing, and if Militia win, they will split up as a tag team. And honestly, I kind of want that. I think Danny Luna and Jody Threat need to go and be singles competitors now, especially since this division desperately needs it, and we should honestly can the Women's Tag Team Championships. This division is not deep enough to have these belts. We then cut to Eric Young backstage. He gives Steve Macklin a lot of respect, and then he's basically talking about his match against Jake something later. We'll get to that in a moment. We're then supposed to have a match between Laredo Kid and Kushida, just an X Division match. I really don't like these type of matches that have no story, it's not my thing. But I was excited to see Laredo Kid. I really like the presentation they have with him. His entrance music is cool, his gear is cool, his mask is cool. I'm really buying into him. But before the match can really get off, Josh Alexander comes to the ring and he attacks both these men. And he tries to walk off, but Kushida says he wants a match right now, and that's what we get. Kushida versus Josh Alexander. The match wasn't as good as I expected it to be. I mean, it's Kushida and Josh Alexander. You expect a banger of a match. But then again, this was on weekly television. They're not going to go all out for this. But at the end, you can expect to win Josh Alexander. It makes sense. Kushida doesn't need this victory, but I do feel like he can do a lot more. His storylines have constantly been cut, especially that thing with Jonathan Gresham. Where did that go? But yeah, Josh Alexander wins, and he really hurt Kushida in this match. Kushida's stumbling backstage, and Joe Hendry goes to check up on him, but Josh Alexander they confronts Joe Hendry, and the two have a bit of a face-off. And this was really cool to me. I was very upset when after Slammiversary, they didn't build on what happened between Joe Hendry and Josh Alexander. They kind of just left that, and that upset me a lot. But I'm excited to see that we're kind of getting back to that now, and it's really good. We then get Jordynne Grace's open challenge for the Knockouts Championship, but anybody who knows anything knows that she was gonna win because she also has an open challenge for the Knockouts Championship on NXT this week, so there's no way she's losing it here. And Ariana Grace comes out. Now I'm gonna go on a bit of a rant here. Now Ariana Grace introduces Carmen Petrovic, but the two of them were in a team and already broke up. So why would Ariana Grace introduce Carmen Petrovic? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Now, don't get me wrong, I would love for this team to reunite. They were fun for like the 2 weeks that they lasted, but this didn't make sense here. Plus, Ariana Grace has been off of NXT TV for a while now, so seeing her here and doing this, it's very confusing for a NXT fan. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I would have much rather have this match have been with Ariana Grace instead of Carmen Petrovic. But regardless, it was a good showing for both girls. Carmen Petrovic got some good offense in, but at the end of the day, like I said, it was Jordynne Grace. She was always going to win. But a cool touch is Rosemary was watching during this match, and she kept looking at Jordynne Grace. And when the match was over, the lights went out, and when they come back on, Rosemary was still up there looking over the match, but Jordynne Grace was down on the floor and a pillow was next to her. So I think we're gonna get Wendy Chu in TNA very soon. Honestly, I'm very excited for that. I said I love the tandem of Rosemary and Wendy Chu, and I didn't want them to break up yet. So I can really see this going further. But you know, the likelihood is it's probably just going to be Wendy Chu accepting the open challenge on NXT this week and then it's over. But it's still fun to theorize what's going to happen. Now backstage, ABC and First Class have this confrontation. I really like Casey Navarro in First Class. I was unsure of it at first, but he really embodies the spirit of what First Class is about. These egotistical heels. And I think he's a good replacement for Rich Swann until he comes back. Hopefully this is a prominent spot for him in a major promotion now. and they're having a tag team championship match next week. We also had the Hardy Boys later say they're going to be in action against the System next week. So we're really getting a lot of tag team action, and like I said, the tag team division is looking kind of promising right now. I'm very excited for it. We also get the announcement of 2 new TNA women's signings. Heather Reckless, I'm very excited for her. She's very small, very tiny, so that might be a big issue for her. But I do think she's really good. I've seen some of her stuff. She's definitely a major get for this women's division. And also Xia Li, she had this cool package about this warrior thing. It seems very reminiscent of what she did back in NXT before she got called up to the main roster. But I'm, like I said, very excited for this. Zachary Wentz is in the ring to celebrate, but Speedball Mike Bailey comes out and he congratulates him. And then the Good Hands come out and they attack Speedball and Zachary Wentz, and this sets up a tag team match. I really like the tag team of Zachary Wentz and Speedball. It felt very fun. It felt like 2 superstars teaming up. They're not really superstars, but in the X division, they're the top of the top. And it was a good match. Zachary Wentz and Mike Bailey obviously won. They weren't going to lose against the Good Hands of all people. But this is where the whole thing comes in with Trey Miguel. I think Zachary Wentz now going on his own and Wesley doing his own thing, that leaves Trey Miguel kind of out of everything. And I do think he's probably going to turn heel soon on Zachary Wentz. Then all of the Rascals are going to go on singles runs because they have potential there. Eric Young defeats Jake Something. I didn't care much about this match. It was there. And after the match, Jake Something attacked Eric Young. And this confused me because isn't Jake Something already a heel? Maybe he was tending towards it, but from what I've seen, he's been a heel. And you know, he's not Dominic Mysterio. He can't turn heel and be an even bigger heel. He's just a heel. Then after the match, Steve Macklin came to save Eric Young. And I thought Steve Macklin was also a heel, but he's turning face now. It might be interesting to see. I haven't seen him been face in so long, so it could be a good direction to go since he's very lost at the moment. And then in the main event, Joe Hendry and Mike Santana go up against JDC and Moose. Josh Alexander comes and he's at ringside, he's on commentary, and now during the match he goes to low blow Joe Hendry. Mike Santana takes him out, but this is enough of a distraction for Moose and JDC to pick up the victory. JDC is officially part of the system. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't think he brings anything to the system. I don't really think he brings anything to TNA right now. He just feels like another body on the roster. I think you can take him out and you lose nothing. So I don't know what they're doing with this. You could have put someone else in that position to push them up. But okay, I'm going to give them time, see where this goes. Joe Hendry and Josh Alexander, it's going to be an exciting feud and I'm excited to see where that goes. But that's where the show ends. As I do on the end of each of these videos, I give the show a rating out of 10. And tonight's show was a 7 out of 10. Not too much happened. That was very entertaining tonight. But it did set up a lot of the future. I'm happy they're building up the tag team division. They showed what depth they have, so that's good. And they're also getting new women in for the knockouts division. So hopefully they build all of these stuff nicely, so we're set for the future when all of these big stars leave. But as of now, this show was just okay. If you missed it, you probably don't miss too much next week. But regardless, it was a fine show and I enjoyed it. And if you enjoyed watching me review this show, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I cover TNA and NXT every week, as well as updating you on the news of what's going on. So I'd very much appreciate it if you subscribe, help me get to 100. The goal is to get to 100 subscribers before the end of the month, and I'm so very close, so please subscribe, and I hope to see you again soon. I love all of you, goodbye and good night.